Hello everyone, this is Amanda Kocher, and this presentation was completed for C&T 770. I have added a couple updates that are specific to my situation. So in this course, we learned about learning spaces, which refer to places where 21st century teaching and learning can occur. Our task was to collaborate with our group and create a learning space of our own. This presentation was created by Group 2, which includes Katie Black, Jody Grossi, Kami Hines, and Brittany Payne, as well as myself. As we began to consider what our learning space might look like, we decided to focus on two major components in education today: collaboration and technology. We believe that 21st century classrooms should provide multiple opportunities for students to engage in collaborative practices and utilize technology as a tool to enrich our learning experience. This led us to our purpose statement for our learning space, which is collaborative technology in the hands of the teacher and student can create an engaging and purposeful learning space. We utilized our guiding question: how can the classroom setup, design, and/or space enhance and promote learning through face-to-face and technology-based collaboration? This was used to guide our research and create our learning space. In the research articles that our group selected, there's concrete evidence that transforming a classroom into a 21st century learning space is critical and essential to maximize the learning of our 21st century students. Our classroom design was inspired by the thoughts and ideas we found in current research. Melina Unkefer informed us of the effects our natural and built environments have on the way we think and feel, as well as the effects of lighting on student performance. Kayla Delzer's article detailed the benefits of flexible seating, including increased motivation, the burning of energy, and creating better oxygen flow to the brain. Aaron Klein addressed the importance of maximizing floor space, allowing for student choice, and avoiding bright colors and busy patterns. Two articles taught us about the importance of having students be a part of the planning and design stages for the space. The design of the learning space can act as a catalyst to promote collaboration and innovation. In Delzer's article, Flexible Seating and Student-Centered Redesign, she acknowledges that switching to flexible seating will ensure improvements. The switch must be accompanied by a shift in teaching philosophy. In an article titled New Learning Spaces, Make Technology Work, the author gives many ways students can use technology in their transformed 21st century classroom space. There are technology tools that help students get to know each other, like polling and blogs. There are tools that help students work in groups, like Online Teaching Assistant, Group Tool, Wikis, and Google Docs. Students can build ideas together using Padlet or mind mapping on a Google Doc. Students can connect with the world using Skype or Collaborate for video conferencing. One article we read, titled Learning Without Borders, gave a wonderful example of using technology to collaborate with students around the world. It is an inspiring story of U.S. and Chinese students going beyond the walls of their classroom and getting to know each other. As they grew and learned together, they had countless real-world, authentic experiences, collaborating and communicating with students who speak a different language. This example merges 21st century learners using 21st century tools and doing 21st century collaboration. The classroom design we created involves a whole group instruction area and many collaborative workspaces around the room for small groups. In the whole class instruction area, we included a smartboard so that whole class instruction remains interactive and engaging. Each table would seat 4 students to facilitate quick small group work, such as knowledge checks during a lesson. The space between the tables in blue serves many purposes. It allows students to see one another for face-to-face discussion, and all students can see demonstrations done by the teacher at the board. The computer research areas around the room provide collaborative workspaces. Additional tables for seating also facilitate small group collaboration in a less formal arrangement. Windows are an important aspect to the learning space because natural light is rich in blue light, which helps students stay awake and alert. Lamps are also an excellent way to incorporate light and will be placed in each research area. Storage in this classroom includes open shelving along 2 walls and shelving built into the walls under the whiteboards at the front of the room to provide easy access for student supplies. A charging station will be next to the entrance of the classroom for student Chromebooks when they are not needed for classroom activities. It will provide a safe storage place to minimize distractions and Chromebook damage. These storage options will keep student workspace clear and organized. As displayed in the image on the previous slide, our learning space allows for teacher and students to easily move about the classroom. This is an important aspect to include when allowing collaboration because the teacher needs to be able to move between groups easily. Our learning space has no specified teacher desk because this allows for the students and teacher to be equal partners or co-constructors of knowledge. The room is decluttered with plenty of storage options for organization. This gives students a workspace that allows for easy access to supplies and technology with minimal distractions. Our flexible seating arrangements give students choice and variability. The image shown on the slide presents options for various table and chair structures that could be used throughout the room. In integrating a collaborative learning space such as the one we have presented, there are some necessary steps for appropriately constructing the classroom. The identified need in our classroom space is in the answer we are looking for in our guiding question. In connection with the constructed design of our learning space, the need is the implementation of face-to-face and technology-based collaboration. This was the first piece of information needing to be identified when thinking of what type of learning we wanted to be made possible in our room. This question could be posed to a volunteered group of people wanting to take part in the room's transformation. Williams mentions the importance of involving students, especially to assist in the creation process. Since our guiding question focuses on the involvement of technology and face-to-face collaboration, we found it extremely important to make this connection present in our learning space. As you viewed the diagram, there are multiple opportunities for students to collaborate with each other and the use of technology. This piece of the integration process is not only vital in answering our guiding question, but also in providing opportunities for students to be engaged in 21st century learning. A major challenge of any classroom learning space is cost. Technology is expensive, so an ideal learning space is not always in the school district's budget. Due to budget constraints, access to technology can be limited. Our classroom design is assuming each student has their own Chromebook, but even then, a few extra computers would be necessary for students who don't have their Chromebook for one reason or another. Finally, classroom management changes when small groups are working around the room more often than sitting in their assigned seat. Teachers have to figure out what works for them in terms of managing students because they will be relinquishing some of their control when students are carrying out open-ended learning tasks. For the original assignment in CNT 770, we created a VoiceThread presentation in which our classmates could comment and share their thoughts on these discussion questions. For this presentation, I will share our thoughts and some inspiration from our research. As our group considered the design process and challenges that teachers may face when redesigning their classrooms for more effective 21st century learning spaces, several of the questions posed on this slide came up in our discussions. What are effective strategies for face-to-face collaboration? Many of us use this in our classrooms on a daily basis, and we asked our classmates what they have used that was most effective. How can collaboration between students that are connected worldwide enhance and deepen their learning experience? We believe that collaborating and connecting with other students in the classroom or across the world creates opportunities where students can, as Anderson put it, develop skills for life and work beyond the classroom through authentic problem solving and creative critical thinking, while also fostering global citizenship and preparation for the digital work environment. How do we redesign our classrooms without access to vital resources? Realistically speaking, redesigning our classrooms can become expensive and our districts may not provide all of the funding necessary. Some schools may provide in-district grants that teachers can apply for. Some districts may have PTO and PTA associations that can contribute to school-based or teacher-based needs that could also provide funding. And we've each seen many teachers start GoFundMe or Donors Choose campaigns to raise funds for their classroom needs. Why is it necessary to connect the virtual and physical elements in every 21st century classroom? When we connect the virtual and physical elements in the 21st century classroom, learning has the opportunity to become multidimensional by providing additional motivation and elevated critical thinking. We must remember that students today have been raised in a world of interactive technologies and become energized when they are able to actively share ideas and work collaboratively together, whether that be through face-to-face or virtual opportunities. We told our classmates that we are interested in hearing their thoughts to these questions and topics and used the comment feature on the slide to create those comments. The primary purpose for our design, as stated previously, is to increase student collaboration through both face-to-face and online interactions. Our design meets our instructional goals of collaboration both at the classroom and global level. By having tables throughout the room, the students are able to work collaboratively face-to-face. It is important that students sit 2 on each side of the table in a group of 4 so that they are facing each other. In this way, students have more opportunities to speak and to listen to one another, which helps students develop and improve basic communication skills that are vital for collaboration. Technology engages students in our world today. Once they are engaged, technology can be used to deepen understanding through examples such as reflective blogs or Padlet discussions. In our classroom design, the Chromebooks are available for students to collaborate in small groups or to work independently throughout the room. Not only can students collaborate with their classmates, students can use technology to collaborate with other students around the world. The online collaboration provides opportunities for students to develop problem-solving skills. Also, this connected learning creates a cultural literacy by allowing students to examine issues of global significance through interconnected sharing of experiences and exchange of ideas. Our design utilizes smartboards and Chromebooks as tools to connect with students and information on a global level. Global collaboration meets the learning goals of engagement and motivation through authentic learning and begins to prepare students to embrace their roles as global citizens. This project was a great experience, and my group brought many different viewpoints to the table while we were designing our classroom. Many of the components found in this classroom mirror those of my ideal science classroom. I would like to take a minute to look at how I would see some of these characteristics integrated into my own classroom. As I teach high school life science, including biology, advanced biology, and anatomy and physiology, we do many labs and dissections throughout the year, so a prep space that can be easily navigated is a must. I have the privilege of teaching in a small school where class sizes are reasonably small, so movement through the room is not a challenge. As illustrated in the picture, I think bean-shaped tables would work well to facilitate discussion and provide ample workspace for my students during labs, as well as day-to-day learning. An interactive board is ideal for similar reasons to the humanities classroom that we designed. It would help facilitate interactive lecture and discussion. I would also have a whiteboard nearby to expand discussions if needed. I really liked the idea of whiteboard walls provided in the course, where students can work alone or in small groups easily. I have positioned whiteboards across the entire back wall that could be used for this purpose. Flexible seating was emphasized in our presentation, and rolling chairs would work nicely in my classes. This can facilitate the use of the back wall without having extra furniture in the room, as well as increase student mobility around their own table and between tables. While storage is important in every classroom, storage in a science classroom is part of keeping students safe. An ideal situation would be to have cubbies or a space for student belongings when they're not in use, for example backpacks or coats, to keep them out of the lab. For supplies or lab materials, cabinets that lock below the lab prep area would be excellent. Finally, technology in the hands of the students is key. In our hypothetical classroom, we included research areas that had desktop computers. In my school, every student has a Chromebook, and desktops are few and far between. So my design does not incorporate those because the students can use their Chromebooks at their table. When every student has a Chromebook, and they're using them in all of their classes, charging can become an issue. In each of the tables, I would like to have outlets to facilitate the use of student Chromebooks, even at the end of the day. I would also like the cubbies to have outlets near so students can charge Chromebooks when they're not using them and keep them from becoming a distraction or from damage during labs. Because I teach a lab class and I teach freshmen through seniors, I have included a mobile teacher workspace because I often do demonstrations in my biology classes with my younger students. This ensures that I have a space to do those demonstrations when necessary, but it also can be rolled out of the way when students are using the Promethean board or when we are doing other interactive activities during lecture. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.